Welcome to our next class. Children, we will start chapter number 12, midpoint theorem. Okay, this is chapter number 12. So, let me explain you what is midpoint theorem. Midpoint theorem states that the line joining any two midpoints of the triangle of any two sides. You can see this is a triangle. D is midpoint of side AB, E is midpoint of side AC. So, D and E both are midpoints. This line joining the midpoint will be parallel to third side. Clear? It will be parallel to third side and measure of DE will be half of BC. This is MPT. MPT stands for midpoint theorem. Clear? Given D and E are the midpoints. In that case, DE will be parallel to BC and DE is equal to half of BC. Next is converse of MPT. Converse. What is converse of MPT? In case of converse, what should be given to you? One midpoint. If D is midpoint and if the lines are parallel. In that case, in first case, D and E were the midpoints. But now what is given to you? D is midpoint and lines are parallel. In that case, E will be midpoint. Clear? So this is converse of MPT. So see what I wrote here. Given D is midpoint and DE parallel to BC. So in that case E will be midpoint of AC. This is converse of midpoint theorem. Now children, first question of your 12.A exercise. In triangle ABC, you can see I have drawn a triangle ABC. M is midpoint of AB and N is midpoint of BC. Clear? It is given M is midpoint of AB, this is midpoint and a straight line through M. This is a straight line which is passing through M and parallel to BC. This is parallel to BC. Now parallel is given and one midpoint is given, cuts AC at point N. Clear? Find the length of AN. You have to find the length of AN. In this case, length of BC is 7. And you are asked to find the length of AN as AC is 5 centimeter. So what we'll do children? You can see here M is midpoint, lines are parallel. Will N be the midpoint? Yes, by converse of midpoint theorem. You can see here given midpoints, M is midpoint and MN parallel to BC. What to find out? Length of AN and length of MN you have to find out. Solution: as M is midpoint I wrote here. See, M is midpoint and MN parallel to BC. So, N will be midpoint of AC. Why? Converse of MPT. So, in that case children, look here. If N is midpoint of AC, the length of AC is what? 5 centimeter. So, what will be AN? Half of 5, 2.5. Now, we have already proved N is also midpoint. M was also midpoint. It was given. Now, in this case, both are midpoints. If both are midpoints, in that case, Mn will be half of 7. Why? MPT. Look here in the solution children. First case I proved with converse of MPT and second case I proved with midpoint theorem. Clear? Now the next question. Yes, second question children. Prove that the figure obtained by joining the midpoints of adjacent sides of rectangle. I have drawn a rectangle and what is the question? The line figure obtained by joining midpoints. E is midpoint, F is midpoint, G is midpoint, H is midpoint. That means you have to prove EFGH is a rhombus. And all of you are familiar with the properties of rhombus. In case of rhombus, all the sides are equal. So for this question children, what I wrote here, given ABCD is a rectangle, this is only given to you. EFGH are midpoints and you have to prove EFGH is a rhombus. So see children, you know in geometry, if required we can do construction. So I joined A with C. What I'll do, see children, in triangle ABC, E and F both are midpoints. So what is EF? Half of AC. Why? Midpoint theorem. Then I'll take triangle ADC. In this case, H and G are what? Midpoints. So HG will be half of AC. See, EF is also half of AC. HG is also half of AC. In that case, they both will be equal. Clear children? So, I proved it in this part up to here. So, from equation 1 and 2, EF is equal to HG. Now, same I will continue. Now, I will join the another diagonal DB and I will take the triangle DCB. In this case, G and F are what? Midpoints. So, what will be GF? half of dB. H and E in this triangle, H and E are midpoints, so H and E will be half of dB. This is also half of dB, H is also half of dB. In that case, they both will be equal. So same thing I proved here children. EH is equal to GF. Now you know that AC is diagonal of rectangle, okay? DB is also diagonal of rectangle, and you know that diagonals of rectangle are equal. I wrote here, as the diagonals of rectangle are equal, that means AC is equal to DB. So I can write EF is equal to GH. They are equal to what? AC, and these two sides were equal to DB. So as AC and DB are equal, that means they all are equal. It shows that EFGH is a rhombus. Third question, D, E and F are the sides of triangle, midpoints of the sides of triangle. D is midpoint of this, E is midpoint of this, F is midpoint of this. You have to prove, and it is given AB is equal to AC. So beta, if AB is equal to AC and these are the midpoints, that means this side, this and this will be equal. I have drawn same symbol. And as E is midpoint of BC, this will not be equal to this. So I have drawn different symbols on this. So you have to prove DEF is an isosceles triangle. You have to prove. That is possible if you prove any two sides equal. So what I'll do, look children, in this triangle E and F are the midpoints. So I can write EF is equal to half of AB. I can write here EF is equal to half of AB. D and E are also midpoint, so I can write DE is half of AC. So beta, EF is half of AB, DE is half of AC, and AB and AC both are equal. What does it mean? That this side is equal to this side. See, I proved here. EF is half of AC and DE is half of AC. It is compulsory to write why they are equal by MPT. So as AB and AC are equal, that means EF and DE is also equal. So if two sides are equal, DEF is isosceles triangle. You are given this figure. It shows a trapezium, and in this case AB is parallel to DC is parallel to QR. They have given you P is midpoint children, and you have to prove PR. What you have to prove? PR is equal to half AB plus CD. So what I'll do, see children, I have taken triangle ABD. This triangle I have taken. In this triangle, what is P? Midpoint, and this side is parallel to this. Clear? So converse is applicable. With converse of MPT, Q will be midpoint. Same thing I wrote here. In triangle ABD, P is midpoint and PQ parallel to AB. So Q will be midpoint by converse of MPT. Now look here children. As P and Q both are midpoints now. We proved Q is also midpoint. So P and Q are midpoints. So I can write PQ is half of AB because that is familiar to the result. See what I wrote here. As P and Q are midpoints, so PQ will be half of AB, and mark this equation as 1 by MPT. Now let's take another triangle DCB. In this case, we already proved Q is midpoint and this side is parallel to this side. So again by converse, R will be midpoint. Clear? I wrote the same thing here. Q is midpoint and QR is parallel to DC. So R will be midpoint by converse of MPT. So if Q and R both are midpoints, I can write QR is equal to half of CD or DC. Clear? Same thing I wrote, QR is half of DC. What is the reason? MPT. Now you can see the demand of question. I need to add. So add equation number 1 and 2. If you add, what you will get? PQ plus QR. See, PQ plus QR equals to half AB plus half DC. So half can be taken common. This is the result, and from the figure you can see what is PQ plus QR. PQ plus QR is PR. That's what you have to prove. Hence proved. Now the next question is the diagonals of quadrilateral. What kind of quadrilateral? Not given. I have drawn a simple quadrilateral. Diagonals of the quadrilateral intersect at 90. That means all these angles are 90 degree. Prove that the figure obtained by joining the midpoints of, again these are midpoints. Now you have to prove the figure obtained by joining midpoints. That means EFGH is a EFGH is a rectangle. You have to prove it is a rectangle. In first case you prove that it is a rhombus. Now you have to prove it is a rectangle. So same thing children. I have joined AC. Take the triangle ABC. I can show here EF parallel to E and F are what? Midpoints. So EF will be half of AC. See, I wrote here EF is half of AC by MPT. Now you take triangle ADC. H and G are midpoints. So HG will be half of AC. EF is also half AC. HG is also half of AC. That means they are equal to each other. Opposite sides are equal. So this is equation number 3. After this children, I joined the another diagonal DB and take the triangle DCB. This triangle I have taken. In this triangle G and F are what? Midpoints. So GF will be half of DB. Now in triangle DAB, H and E both are midpoints. So what will be HE? Half of DB. This is also half of DB. This is also half of DB. That means what? They are equal to each other. So children, we proved opposite sides equal. This side is equal to this side. This side is equal to this side. That is the property of parallelogram. But if we prove vertex angle 90 degree, then parallelogram will become a rectangle. That's what we have to prove. But how to prove that this vertex angle 90? I marked this angle as angle 1. What is this angle? 90. And you know that in quadrilateral, this is also a quadrilateral, na? So in quadrilateral, opposite angles are equal. So if this is 90 degree, what will be angle 1? 90. If this is 90, this will also be 90. So we proved in this figure, opposite sides are equal as well as vertex angles are 90 degree. It shows that it is a rectangle. So this way you have to solve. I have started the question from here. Then after this step, clear? After this from equation 4 and 5, this is 6th equation. This is the solution, you can go through it. Thank you students. Try up to question number 10. I'll see you in the next class.